Had an up-close and person view of that unbelievable play on Sunday with Diggs. It's one of those things. It's just one of those fluky things in sports. I compared it to Bill Buckner letting the ball go through his legs. Freddie Brown back in 1982 at Georgetown throwing the ball to James Worthy. It's one of those things that can't happen. And with Marcus Williams, you're just going, why would you try to tackle him that way? You just got to wrap him, keep him in bounds. The game's over. What were you thinking when you saw that?
Well, first of all, guys, everything happened in slow motion. You hear players talk about when the game slows down, it seems like things go in slow motion. And that play was in super slow motion. Once Diggsy caught it and spun around, the first thing I did was look to see who else could make a tackle after Williams. There was nobody with him. And I just pointed, hey, just go. Forget about getting out of bounds. There were guys behind me. Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. Hell no. Go, man. Mm-hmm. Go. And it was just one of those unbelievable moments in sports, in life that, that you were a part of, that you witnessed. We have been, and talking about the Vikings, the organization has been on the opposite of so many of those, whether it's, the Gary Anderson miss or the pass to Darren Nelson in the 87 NFC Championship game against Washington, the missed kick wide left with Blair Walsh, far thrown across his body in 2009. So we've been on the butt end of a lot of those great plays, but it was so I don't even know if there's an adjective to describe.
What's funny about that play, Greg, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but if Marcus Williams, he took such a horrible angle and he couldn't even see what he was trying to hit, but he took out Cauley. Cauley's momentum is taking him towards Diggs, and Diggs still had to turn around. If he doesn't take Cauley out, Cauley probably makes the play.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then at that point, you tell Stephon, hey, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. So, maybe there's 2 seconds left on the clock. But when he spun around and I saw there was nobody else was going to catch him. I mean, it was just one of those bang, bang, unbelievable plays. And, Diggs wasn't even born back in the 80s. I said, you know what? I liken this to the Miracle on Ice where the U.S. hockey team, led by Minnesota's own Herb Brooks, University of Minnesota hockey coach, do you believe in miracles? And he said, man, God put me in a position to make a play, and I just want to do what I did. And
he got emotional,
just unbelievable.
And Greg, Diggs Diggs was the perfect guy to catch that ball, too, because he went to school here at Maryland, and I see the highlight reels that they play of him at games from time to time. There's a play that he made in a college game. I can't remember who it was against, but he caught the ball, and then it looked like he surely was going down. He's going to fall down, but his balance and his arm kept him alive into the end zone. And on that play, he had to twist his body, and he could have, easily, the momentum could have taken him out of bounds, but he got his arm down and was able to right himself, and then he found the end zone after that.
I saw that play on one of the sports shows, whether it was Sports Center or NFL Network. I know exactly what play you're talking about. And it was almost identical, although he didn't do the pirouette, and sometimes somebody would say, well, why were you pointing? I said, well, hell, Jim Marshall went the wrong way after, spinning around. So sometimes you lose your focus, your balance, or wherever you are, you could have easily turned and gone the wrong way. But, it's just one of plays that you will take with you to the grave.
What does this do for his status there in Minnesota, no matter what happens the rest of the way? Does this make him sort of an icon there forever?
Well, it does for that game. But if we don't go into Philly, complete the task of getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, that will just be another great play in the archives of Minnesota Vikings history. It will not erase anything. The 13-3 regular season record, first, all of those things would be great. But that would be a wasted bullet in the event that we don't go on and complete the task.
All right, so about this game against Philadelphia. Again, not getting much love, certainly in Vegas, because they're 3.5-point underdogs in this game. Vikings are favorites. And let's be honest, Greg, the Vikings defense showed some cracks in the second half, allowing 24 points. Now, I get it. That's Drew Brees. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. But they certainly have to tighten up. What are your thoughts going into this game?
Well, there are a lot of things we have to tighten up. We left points on the field. Kai missed a field goal right at the end of the half. Would have, put us in a 2-score versus a tie. That hurt. We got a punt block. We haven't had a punt block all year, not even close. Quigley had his first touchback all year. So there's some things on special teams that we've got to tighten up. Number 2, red zone. We gave up so many red zone touchdowns to Drew in the second half. And you said it, you're playing an HOF. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's why. But we've got to be able to make some stops.